Okay, hello, and welcome to a Week 6 open race between the Tipsy Tavern Toasters and Soggy Tea. Our runners today are going to be KegInTheCloset and Pytlovan. This is going to be a little bit different than last week if you've been watching our races. Last week we had quite a few entrances all randomized. Everything was shuffled. This is going to be a plain old open 7-7. Just like the race that was on here a few minutes ago, if you had caught that. I am Zethno, and I'm going to be joined today by Josh Bittner.
Hello, yes, we're taking it back to basics. Just a nice, easy, we hope, open 7-7.
You say easy, but I just, earlier today, there was a seed I was looking at that had a Zora with a sword for a forced Aga, and that's not what I picture for a nice, easy seed.
Oof. And we see them immediately start doing the Sank start and getting the key, and our first map check.
Ooh, 2 pendants in the light world. There's a green at Hera and a crystal over at Eastern.
It looks like Pytlovan is going for the Houlihan start?
Yes, that's not something you see very often in Open.
Typically, no, I would advise against it because you will get the 150 or so bucks you would need for a 10 bomb pack if you don't get one, plus the 100 for the bottle of merchant pretty easily in most cases.
Unfortunately, we did just find out that we will not need Aga for the item.
No.
Chat must be disappointed.
Yeah.
And yeah, chat's already saying Open Rando never easy. Well, yeah, it's supposed to be easier, okay? Last week was cross keys. That's definitely supposed to be harder.
And we just only had a piece of heart at Link's house.
Ooh, that is a hook shot.
We like that. Nice and early.
There's some speed. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, and now newer players, you can kind of watch what Keg is doing here. He's doing, as many hook shots as we find a glove at the bottom of the drop in the Lost Woods there. If you have the hook shot and no boots, you can try to get to know your surfaces that you can hook onto, and you can zoom around even though you don't have boots. And now we're just going to run right into Kakariko while Pytlovan goes up to Saha immediately. Or maybe he's not. Or he's just deciding on what he wants to do. Oh, he's farming bombs. Okay.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes some sense. Get at least 2 bombs, for the top. With no money, can choose maybe to get another one. No, just gonna risk it. Oh, that is a find over there on the right for Soggy Tea. We found a moon pearl.
Yeah, that was a pretty spicy. A coin and the cane of Burna. That was a loaded closet there. But now we'll see what's at the bottom of Blind's little hut here.
Yeah, but that could be a very, very dangerous location for a moon pearl. Because if we don't find a bow, you can have a lot of runners that put off going to Saha to wait for the bow to loop it in with Eastern.
Meanwhile, Keg finds the flute and some blue clothes in the bottom of Blind's hut. And we'll continue on to the next
nice and early.
Yeah, Moldorm. Wow, there's huge divergences right off the bat.
Yeah, when this started, I was actually about to say, hey, look, no divergence. They both started at Sank. But I'm really glad I didn't say that because nothing since has been the same.
Yeah, they've really they've surprised us so far.
The mini Moldorms are not cooperating here.
This is something that if you don't practice it right away, this can be really hard to do. I learned this very early on because one of my first ever seeds I ran, I got here with no weapon, and then just so I had to keep buying bombs until I got it. And then I had it for good.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a timing. You want to wait on throwing that bomb as late as you possibly can to give your accuracy a little bit of a boost. I just do want to mention that there is a sword in the well, so toasters have a sword.
You always want to get that sword early. I hate being weaponless for longer than, the opening start of the seed,
Yeah, well, the really awkward thing is once you get boots and then you just start dashing into enemies because you don't have a sword.
Yeah.
And if
Or
you're
you
interested in that, definitely pay attention to next week's mode because we're going to be doing that left, right, and center.
Oh yeah.
We've got a seed that starts with boots and no sword.
And right now, Keg is just finishing up the Kakariko. It's kind of your nearly standard opening right there. You just kind of start at Sank, then make your way to Kak, then you blow through, and that's it. You can say goodbye to about 8 minutes just doing all that. Just pretty stock.
Yeah, we just have a lot of items though. Like we need what, a hammer or a glove, and we have Dark World access. We have hook shot to get around. We have a safety in that cape and that powder, the flute, and a blue mail. Like this. Okay, so who finds Dark World access first here? Is going to be the question.
Well, it's going to be a good question because Pytlovan is immediately making a break for, Agina.
I mean, it's working, but this is not an order I have ever seen any runner do.
Yeah, it's definitely not very standard. I'm assuming he's gonna make a break for Kak now by going from the south exit, probably to pick up another couple of bombs from the 50-50 bomb drop. But after that, I would have to assume he's going to Kak.
Yeah.
And we have a shovel. We picked that up. I missed that while talking about Pytlovan, so I guess we're gonna see what we're gonna dig up today.
That was also part of all those items in Kakariko that we got really super early. Oh yeah, with the hook shot, we have all of Death Mountain available with that flute and that hook.
Yep. And
now this particular check is out of logic. The game does not expect our runners to be able to do this completely in the dark, but I have a feeling both our runners can probably get through this. I say as Keg falls into a pit.
Yes. This should be one of the first dark rooms you learn aside from the Eastern Palace front. Just because it is pretty simple. You can hold your D-pad. There's only like a few different D-pad presses to do, and you can just hold it till the cows come home and then change your D-pad input, and then you'll be good.
Yeah, as you said, this and Eastern, definitely the places to start if you're going to learn a dark room.
So, what will our good deed turn into? Oh, he's dead rocked.
Oh no, with one heart, too.
Oh boy, it's a dodge. Oh my gosh, is he going to make it? He does.
Made it, okay.
Woo! And, he could get
something.
in. I thought he was going to be blocked from the entrance, too.
Well, I mean, at least, if you're blocked from the entrance, if you die there, at least you can just save and quit. Like, you just respawn right there.
Yeah. Oh, Keg's got to be careful now. Those cabbages have already pegged him twice. One more and he's out.
Yeah, these 3 hearts are not
Shade
doing him much.
Immediately booking it here, and remember Season 7 Porpori mode in Ladder? That you had access to the mountain immediately on 3 hearts and no weapon. Just kind of got flashbacks to that.
Yeah, we had no item there inside Spectacle Rock, but I was kind of hoping there would be, just because Keg's on 1 heart.
Well,
and you gotta go the long way.
I think I just saw a bottle come up for Pytlovan, and it had a fairy in it, so he could die, but I mean, you don't want to.
Oh, that would be is that faster or slower? Just going the long way around. But since you don't have to go back up, it's probably not that bad to just jump down.
Yeah, and without the mirror, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
Um, and he'll get his
And
keeling
there are the hearts.
here, and then he can deal. Okay, we have a
Ooh.
second coin, as noticed.
Okay. So we're like two-thirds of the potential way there.
Yup. Now we're gonna see what these 5 chests have, what we can loot from here. The boots.
Thank
That's a
you,
huge
chat.
thing,
Oh, there.
and a master sword.
Wait. Pytlovan already has a master sword, and he hasn't been here. Where was the other sword? Bottle vendor had a sword.
Oh.
I missed that completely.
So,
There's
he must. Then that means Keg didn't have the money.
Yep. Hey, you know that hula hand that you were mentioning, where you'd have enough money for everything? Well,
Yeah, I guess it turned out to be an issue, but I'm sure Keg is gonna want to be able to, get back to that. That's a check that if I don't get it, I'm gonna want to get back there as soon as I can, especially when you have a flute. So when his play up here on the mountain is over, which it will be very soon, he can just flute back and then tie up that loose end. He'll finish his play here at a spiral. Maybe not.
Map check hasn't done it yet, but no, that's definitely the point. When you have flute, it's not too bad. If you don't have flute, that's really annoying because getting back is unfortunate. But with flute, it's an extremely quick check to get back.
Yeah, I hate leaving loose ends like that too long. They kind of needle you in the back of your mind until you scratch the itch to go check it.
Yeah, the one thing about that is that Keg is not too far off Zora money, and going to do Bottle Vendor right now will put him quite far away from that.
Well, we'll see what he does. Oh, we're gonna check the back of Escape on Pytlovan's side here. Let's see what we got over here.
That should be good. That's new for us. We've got half magic. That's
Half magic's
nice.
not bad. Particularly if you get a fire rod, you can really start to go crazy.
Ooh, dark room. Back of Escape, dark room. So he's got to find the rat and get the key. This looks like the rat has escaped him a little bit.
This is where it's helpful if you're wearing headphones, or maybe if you can just deduce it from like stereo speakers, because you can listen for the squeaks and try to find the rat that way. The rat with the key, when you get in the room, will always book it to the left side, and he did get the key, so he's through.
Yeah, but depending on whether it goes up and then down and then stays left or goes directly right,
can
be very difficult.
First move, and then that's it.
And the thing is that, like, from the southern door, it's not too bad because you just turn left and eventually you go left and up and you'll find it. But when you're coming from the north door, there's a lot of time in between there, and we have all of that for a mushroom.
Yep. So that'll
be
turn that in. When I get a mushroom this early into a seed, I sniff out the seeds. Garbage. We'll put it in PG terms and immediately turn it in like Pytlovan is not doing. I thought he was fluting to 2.
Yeah, so did I.
Because, you can put that out of your mind immediately if you don't do it. But that's what this game's all about, choices.
We got some simultaneous dark rooms over here.
Yeah, really not much to look at. One is I believe, is rescuing the old man. The other one is, I'm trying to remember where they're at. I think they're in the back of Escape looking for their mushroom. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was too, but I was gonna wait. But yeah, okay. So
it's like all of a sudden it's just all blackness. I'm just like,
It was Dark Cross. So okay. So Pytlovan is following.
That's good,
Keg.
'cause that means
Now,
he'll get his
and
boots.
there's a mushroom.
There
There's
we
a
go.
mushroom turn, and Keg doing it. So now, Keg, go take that flute. Go get your sword.
Yeah, having...
Oh,
Wow, that's huge.
oh no, that's bad. That would have been a lot better to have the mitts going up the mountain with these checks. Pytlovan would have been able to save a lot of time by doing dark and light Death Mountain at the same time.
Yeah. So he's following. It's the consolation that he'll get his boots, but... And, oh, okay, so he's gonna check King's Tomb first. And then I have to think he's gonna hightail it to Kakariko and then make their way into the Dark World from there to see what they can scour up. And where are they going?
I think so. Oh,
Yeah, it looks like they're
wow.
cleaning up some loose ends.
Yeah.
Um, generally, well, I guess if I'm trying to remember, no, they have the same gear now, so he must have made his way to Saha. Um,
Nope.
no. Okay.
Nope. Saha has the Moon Pearl.
Ah, okay.
That's a very, very important check.
Yeah.
No, the bigger thing is it would be nice, like, if you could get a little bit of rupees here, you could make the choice to go up to Zora.
Right.
But no Moon Pearl makes that a little... Well, I guess you have boots, so you can water walk up there.
Yeah, you could water walk. That just means you leave behind the camper.
Well, no, because you
only
can...
get one or the other.
No, because you can store a water walk, fake flipper to the bridge, and then water walk out of there to...
Okay.
Into, the other cave. Into, Waterfall Cave.
In any case, looks like, yeah, they're just cleaning up. Eventually they gotta make their way to Saha because that's gonna be the way to the Dark World.
Keg trying to do the block skip there with a hook shot.
Yeah.
Just barely mistimes it. That is a very, very tricky timing.
I'm trying to... I'm just curious on this front too, because it looks like he's playing on console, whereas Pytlovan is on emulator. I just purchased a Super NT and I'm in the process of getting it all set up and good to go, so I'm kind of wondering, maybe there's just like a difference with like the input speed that you need on emulator versus console too.
That was an attempt at hook speed that didn't work out on Keg's side. That can be really tricky on really small stairs.
Yeah, I mean, it's all timing, right? You're trying to get these frame-perfect button presses. And, just 3 bottoms on just the ledge, so that's nothing.
Oh, here it is. We're gonna get the, we're getting the fake flipper, and probably gonna come into a water walk, exactly what I was talking about earlier.
Right on.
This is a very common strat, especially in casual boots, where you're guaranteed the boots, but you may not have Moon Pearl yet.
Yeah, it is a play that I have started picking up on more lately. I did it in the reverse order, though, where I'd be dashing all the way to the camper, and then swimming, if I had Pearl, but just 3 bombs.
Yeah, that definitely works. The thing is, if you don't... he has Moon Pearl at this point, so it doesn't matter. But if you don't have Moon Pearl, you have to do it in this order, or it's not going to work out for you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you can't fake flipper into Waterfall Cave without Moon Pearl and get the items.
So
I think most runners have tried that once, and oops.
Oh yeah. We're doing a little bit of out of logic degeneracy, and then we'll see where that takes us. Just lots of explosions, though, for Pytlovan there, and a red potion. We like that. Get yourself a nice refill.
Unfortunately, we do not have the items for a splash delete. So Zora's Ledge will be unattainable at the moment.
Just $5.
That's a nice feeling as a runner, though, knowing that you don't have the items and you're going, oh, if I had to come all the way back up here later when I get another item, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we got a
partial refund.
Yeah, 60% refund. All right, I've seen worse scams.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful when you pay 500 rupees and Zora spits out a green rupee at you.
Yeah, or the middle finger, which is the one arrow.
Mm. So, we're getting our mitts fine. This is going to give Pytlovan the first Dark World access between our runners.
Yeah, well, they're feeling. I'm kind of wondering how they're feeling about that now, having found it when they had the mushroom about, 7-8 minutes ago. And the ability to flute here, that could affect their thinking. As they book it to the portal over here.
Mm. Actually, a good point being brought up in chat. Actually, yeah, the way Pitt set that up, he could have actually stored the water walk all the way if he fake flippered all the way there and been able to do Zora Ledge, but that would have been a pretty big waste of time in this particular circumstance since there was nothing there.
Yeah. Ooh, is Keg falling for, well, he doesn't have a lantern. Is he just, oh, he's just running through escape.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that check yet.
I was about to
But
say, if he was about to do Agabate, that would have been tragic. But even without the lamp especially.
Keg still hasn't made it back for that tempered sword, though.
But flips. Flips in the first chest of escape. As we see Pytlovan just annihilating the Gibdos in Skullwood's middle. It looks like Keg is setting up a death warp.
But why?
Fantastic question, because right, he's done here.
So what's he trying to death warp to?
Yeah, because he was getting poked repeatedly on purpose by the guard there.
Ah, apparently he hasn't done Eastern yet. He didn't do Eastern before coming in, because I was watching Pitt's side there, so that makes sense. That's okay.
Fair enough. I just usually let the the big key guard beat me up if I need to take a death warp though.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of extra. No. Try to set up. I guess you can just bomb yourself when that happens. Take another hit.
Okay, now he's worried. Yeah, there he goes.
No, that's fine. He's gonna get himself with a bomb. That chest helping out.
That was thanks a lot. Nice bomb jump by Pytlovan there to get over the chest. Oh, no. And he had a fairy. The
fairy.
Oh, no.
Oh, that feels so bad when that happens. And
we've all done it.
Yep. You just forget that you have the fairy, and it's like, oh well. Yeah, you always have a fairy when you try to death warp. You never have one when you're low on health.
Exactly. I don't make the rules. Yeah, the longer that Keg is putting off going to get that to get that pearl from Saha, the longer he's gonna fall further behind here.
They just tried to death warp too.
Wow, this is
It's just both our runners happen to.
There you go. Now you got. That's what you should do in this room. If you're trying to get out of here, instead of death warp, you can wait for the wall master to take you away.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you're at half a heart, I don't really want to leave Skullwoods at half a heart because that's a good way to die and have to get all the way back to Dark World.
Very true.
I'd rather take the health refill. In this case, the fairy did it one way or the other, but it's okay.
Just
it's more that, like, as you said, we've all done it at some point, and just the fact that both of them did it within about 30 seconds of each other is great.
That is pure comedy. I mean, Rando will always try to make a fool out of you, and there it is, Just some
Keg is
classic.
looking for that Dark World access and is just not finding it.
He's. It's concerning how long he's put off going, and he gets the lamp there. Okay.
Ah,
So I'm wondering if he's going to take the bait to lamp on Uncle. So I'm wondering if he's going to take the bait to go up Aga 1 now, and maybe the pearls on the pyramid.
no,
But
I don't think so.
meanwhile, we have Pytlovan getting a shield as he's going through the village of outcasts here. Okay.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's definitely the right play in this circumstance, but I 100% get leaving that. You're really hoping Eastern's a crystal. You're really hoping that at some point you find the bow. You come over here, you do Saha's checks and you do Eastern at the same time. You clear them both up and be done with this whole area. So you put
Right.
it off, and then you find this.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the sad feeling, and now he's got to be thinking, well, crud, now I'm really behind. Looks like Pytlovan is skipping going into Thieves Town without the hammer. Um,
I mean, he could just be checking this first and then going back up. I know some runners like doing that just to protect against finding the hammer there immediately after doing it.
fair. Looks like
But
he's
looks like
continuing on to take care of the rest of South Dark World, though. We'll get the Stumpy and then a little hype cave here.
yeah, this
There's
makes a
Dark
lot
World
of
map.
sense. There's quite a few items along this route. You might find hammer along the way. I don't think we discussed the rest of the crystal layout though. We do have Skullwoods as a pendant, and Swamp and Mire as our red crystals.
Oh boy. You know,
So we do.
that means that mirror. We really want that mirror very soon.
Well, the other thing is that we need to do both Mire and Turtle Rock, so we may have up to 2 medallions needed, and right now we have all 3. Where did Bombos come from?
Bombos came from. He picked that up in Village of Outcasts, I want to say.
Ah, okay. I think I was watching Keg at that point.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Thanks, game.
Cool. So everyone has a complete coin collection.
So that's no longer relevant. But do you know what we don't have? The most probably looked for item for Go Mode out of all the seeds I've ever seen.
Building a nice rod.
The Ice Rod does not yet exist.
And the thing that's unfortunate about that, of course, is the Ice Rod could be literally anywhere in the game, not on Trinex or Turtle Rock. It could be deep in a pendant dungeon somewhere that you don't want to do.
You mean GT?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I always flip some words around like that.
No problem. I knew exactly what you meant, and
Yeah,
just in case we have some newer viewers who are wondering why it can't be in there. No, it can, but GT is locked by Turtle Rock. So yeah, it's anywhere. Hey, it could be on Pet.
In this case, yes, it could be. And that would be unfortunate. One thing that is nice about this Open, as opposed to if you've been watching the SGL tournament, is we do have progressive bows here, so it's not necessarily going to be a case of having a bow on Ped.
No, we will need one bow, but we don't need both. I assume both these runners can do silverless cannon. Chad, don't get our hopes up like that. Yeah. I know Chad likes Ped, so I'm just, for the record, it is not yet dead. And actually, really, in this seed, it won't be dead until they pretty much look at it or find like Ice Rod.
I only say that with the one bow on Ped was because that literally happened to me a week ago on ladder in the SGL casual boot setting, and it was a blind pull. So thanks a lot. And of course, you know, Pod and Eastern were both crystals, so you were locked out of completing both of those crystals. And then another time I had the bow on Trinex.
I mean, the other thing is that Canis Samaria is still missing, and that's going to be super required for Meyer and Turtle Rock. And would be quite nice for Ice Palace, but is not actually required. It does tend to like to hide right on the other side of the wall where it could be used.
Oh yeah, that's always the troll location. As we now see Pytlovan going into Thieves Town. He cleared the front four. I didn't really notice anything too exciting aside from maybe the book. I see that he has that Keg does not.
That, and we don't have the small keys, so there is a potential that this dungeon is logically hammerlocked, but is not actually hammerlocked, and we can just finish the whole thing.
Yeah,
So,
it's just to leave the one chest behind.
well, if the small key is in there, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Right? So just to clarify for any newer viewers, it is possible for that small key to be in this chest if we don't find it. But if it is, the game assumes that you need hammer to finish this dungeon, because it assumes that you may use the keys in the worst possible order, which could lock you out of finishing without the hammer.
Indeed. So now both runners are in here. We're gonna finally get our first crystal a good half an hour into the seed, so we're off to a auspicious start.
Yes. Well, remember how we talked about nice and easy open seed, right?
Yeah, I think I might have jinxed it. That's unfortunate. It was supposed to be easy and compared to the craziness of cross keys, especially if you're inexperienced at cross keys.
I mean, I think even if you're experienced at cross keys, open is just a completely different thing than, ooh, it is logically hammerlocked.
Oh boy.
So the game does expect our runners to have hammer to finish this, so hammer cannot be locked behind this dungeon, but behind the boss.
You got chat
Actually,
saying,
that means the attic.
for who?
What else did we didn't find anything important in here? Because there's a few other checks that technically could be an issue. But I think
Well,
we're
now that Pytlovan has the book, but no means to get up to the mountain. But no, they can't check both of the book spots yet.
No, I was just thinking about what was in here in case anything else was now technically out of logic, but they didn't find anything important in here, so we're okay.
Yeah.
The book was not in the back, so that's fine. Oh, the bow is hammerlocked.
Wow, that's a big.
Bow's logically hammerlocked. This is where, as a runner, it's really easy to start losing track of the logic.
Yes, the further you get away from, following logic and doing out of logic plays, the more disorienting it can be. Looks like well, he's starting at the mountain. Is he gonna hightail it to Eastern, or is he? Oh, because he doesn't have the. Oh, he didn't go get the the lantern off Uncle yet.
Yeah. That lantern is actually a little important right at this moment because it is actually their fire source.
Correct. Yeah, he won't be able to finish Desert Palace should he want to, but I wouldn't.
He also couldn't do the coffee break room, which he probably doesn't want to either. Oh, this is interesting. We are getting a dive of Meyer without Samaria.
That is a play I wouldn't do, but I mean, go off. Okay, no, he's just opening it. Okay. You don't lose much time doing that sort of thing, but it's a habit that I would suggest people not to do. You can always open it when it's time to go in there. Now we got Keg fighting blind. And what's next for Pytlovan? They are... I guess they're booking it straight to Eastern. They will clear that in the dark. That's not a problem for probably him and a lot of our runners in League.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this and the Old Man Cave are the two first dark rooms that most runners decide to learn because they are the easiest overall.
Yeah. This is interesting. I mean, another room you should learn is not only the front of Eastern, but learning the back. You know, shooting the arrow into the closed Igor eye and then letting him charge you, so you can shoot him again and get the key. You know, that's another dark room I would suggest learning pretty early in your dark room learnings.
Yep.
And we're now gonna our first clear look at Eastern here, as we have the hook shot, so we can skip the first mini puzzle. I do have to give this game and, you know, patting Nintendo on the back with the design of this video game, because the escape sequence in Eastern Palace really teach you the fundamentals of the game with simple puzzles without making you feel like a moron. And yeah, so you skip it though with the hook shot.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to be able to have that item yet.
Of course.
We've kind of, you know, if you noticed, I think we changed up where a few of the items in this game are, and we're kind of getting them out of order.
Indeed.
Just kind of out of order.
So we're now going to check out our Dark Eastern Palace front. So you can learn that all you have to do is walk around in a circle until you hit the switch. Then you go through that open door and basically walk straight to the right until you get the, or hook shot the pot with the key on it.
I think that was a bonk off one of the pots.
Yes.
It looked like he tried to dash
and
in.
Finish the circle, and then you're out. Easy peasy.
Yeah. The only time you're going to see that, because Keg has lamp.
And there's another skip that you can do is by either, you know, damage boosting your way through to open the switch there, or if you have an invincibility item like the cape, you can just engage the cape and turn it on and pick up your thing.
Yeah, so for anyone who's less familiar to the game, you actually have to get that item the correct way, you actually have to defeat every enemy in the room so that the anti-fairies leave the pot alone. Here's the other dark room. We're going to get the...
he started slowly because he did not...
Oh. What's going on?
Honestly,
reset the room. Just get back in.
Leave. There you go. And at that point, I also would have just taken some fairies to heal up because you're close to dying. Yeah, see, that's how you get the
There it is.
Igor.
Gotta be a little bit careful because the second Igor likes to aggro you sometimes right there.
But he's through. We see Keg also opening the Mire entrance without the Samaria. And
why?
Go in.
Oh, he's going in.
This is spicy.
Okay. Now if he finds something,
this is pretty much. He probably feels a bit behind because he was slow on picking up. I'm trying to remember. Was it? He got the boots first, but there was an item that he got second.
Moon Pearl by a lot.
He might be feeling behind, so it's like a victory or death kind of play. It was the Pearl thing from chat, you know.
That Moon Pearl was really accessible.
Yeah, so if you're feeling behind, you're gonna start to take some gambles. I'm not sure this would have been the gamble I would have done, because double dipping Mire is quite time consuming.
It is, but I mean, if you think you're going to be full clearing it down the road anyway, it's not too bad.
He gets a tower shield as one of the 2 items in here. He only has 1 item to go in this dungeon. Flippers, we're in the front of escape with the, and the lamp was on Uncle.
Flippers. So yeah. Well, because there was a conversation about Keg still having an advantage because he has the flippers, but yep, Pit's about to get them.
Yeah, because now he'll get the lantern and feel kind of silly. More dark rooms today.
Yeah, but you know he didn't try to do like Meyer pod in the dark. That's where it feels really bad.
Yeah, it's. I mean, kind of intermediate is starting to learn pod. You know, the pod basement you can definitely do. You know, with the rupee basement, and then starting to learn the map at least for the pod maze. That's where I'm at in my dark knowledge. I keep telling myself I got to get to Meyer and TR.
Well, then there's the learning how to fight the turtle room in pod.
Turtles with the fire rod, if you can at least do that, you're feeling good. That's kind of good.
Yeah, what about without the fire rod?
That's when it gets kind of advanced.
Yeah, that's definitely definitely something that's tricky, and that's what I'm saying. Like you do something like that, and then you find the lamp right after, and you kind of go, well, that would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, you would have. That gives away a lot of time to your opponent.
And actually, for the record, the Turtle Rock Dark Room is actually quite easy once you just got to learn what to hold when.
Right, it's kind of similar to learning the dark old old man cave. We're gonna now.
As long as you have a sword, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's just something I haven't sat down to do. I just need to do it.
Without a sword, it's extremely annoying to know where you are at first, but it's still because those you have all the fire in that room, you can kind of get an idea of where you are. So, by the way, we are seeing this Keg do this room slowly because we don't have fire rod.
This is the way the game intends you to do it. But there is a way, if you push the block and shoot the fire rod at the same time, it goes through the block and it lights the torch for you. As we're going to now do cutscene chest, and this is the end of the line for Keg, unless he somehow pulls the cane of Samaria here from the cutscene.
That would be nice. Chest. Can you imagine?
That would be shocking.
And here it is. No, it's a compass. Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that means Keg is double dipping this dungeon. But he can just book it straight to the boss from here, you know, once he has his cane of Samaria.
Unfortunately, I didn't see quite where the big key was, but unfortunately, that doing that big key chest at the end does take quite a bit of time that Pit won't have to do.
Yeah. But now we're going to go to the Dark Death Mountain for Keg. That's going to get our first look at that, while Pytlovan's probably booking it to Catfish, my #1 favorite place to skip.
Oh, Catfish is definitely something. But quickly to go back, we've been told by our tracker that it is south of Spike Room. So that's actually a pretty good one for Keg for it to be in, because that's a really annoying one to get to that people normally leave till a little later. But yeah, Catfish. Definitely, there's a few locations that a lot of runners decide they're just going to leave to the end. Catfish is one. Graveyard Ledge is another. Most runners just kind of have one that they just don't touch until they absolutely have to.
Especially when it only gives you $20.
Yeah, but the one time you don't do it, it's going to have, like, your fire rod.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's, like, the few times... I mean, I do my fair share of losing on ladder, of course, but definitely a significant amount of those times is when I've just been exploded by whatever was on Catfish because I refused to route it in. There's just no real good way to do it unless you have, like, flips where you can, like, tie it in with Graveyard Ledge and, you know, King's Tomb if you haven't done it yet.
Yep.
And we're
definitely a good time to try to get that in.
And we're gonna get a look at Hookshot Cave. So far, not really much.
pyramid over here on the other side. Oh, bombs. Wrong type of bomb to open the pyramid, though. Wouldn't it be
Unfortunate.
cool if the big bomb could be right there?
Yeah. We're kind of in a state of stasis right now, hunting for that big progression piece to open up the seed, as we see Pytlovan booking it to Palace of Darkness.
You know, we could just find Fire Rod that's not going to help us at all. Like, we need it, but it opens nothing.
Right. I mean, well, you would be able to then defeat Skullwoods, but I don't think you would really want to do that. That just opens up too many checks.
Yeah, who's doing that? And I'm not quite sure how many items they found in there, because if they've already found most or all of the items, like, you're not going to go all the way there for that.
I think they're one of two in Skullwoods, if I'm remembering it right. And that's typically kind of goes in Skullwoods. You'll always have one behind the fire rod.
Raids are tracker. Thank you very much. Has mentioned that they found both, so you'd be going back literally for the pendant. That's not worth it.
Yeah, at this point, I want to just say, like, thanks, and give our tracker and restreamer a follow. I have raids on tracking and Yoinker's wife on restream. We couldn't do this stream without you two. You're saving our butts time and time again, and we're really grateful.
So what do we have here in pod? What are we gonna find? What's the progression?
I mean, it would be kind of cursed if you just had a good old-fashioned hammer in pod.
But okay, so here's the interesting thing: we have the bow, but the bow that we have was hammerlocked.
Yeah, that
anything locked behind the bow is technically out of logic to our runners right now.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect.
So that's where, like, when we do bow locked side, that's all more out of logic checks. And if we find hammer there, that means there's another bow somewhere. But we can just ignore it at that point. We'll just finish the seed out of logic.
Exactly. I do it all the time. Pytlovan is going to be clearing out pod. There's a minimum of 4 small keys here. And then we can go to the party in the back and see what we're going to get. I have a sense that we're probably finding progression in the back of pod. I just don't know what.
Well, I mean, it can still be an ice.
That is true. With the flips and at least Bombos, you know, you can get in there.
It's definitely not where you want to go, but that probably means that's why the game put it there.
Let's see. As Pytlovan is restocking on ammo, he's setting up for a death warp as well. He gets a blue bottle.
You know, I'm just thinking, you know, we still need some Mario, we still need ice and fire rod and mirror and hammer.
That's why I say I think probably back a pod is going to pay out with something, because I mean we're starting to get working our way towards either cursed locations or just flat out progression starve. So
hammer deep in Ice Palace.
that would be pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
That's when you got to start thinking about. I mean, well, they don't have a way to get to. In 5 chat, we have raids. Our lovely tracker saying 5 keys in the front of pod. So
more than is required. And, yeah, we are about to see a boss fight over on Keg's side, though.
Yeah, we'll see him clean out Eastern. Back there.
We did just see what that room looks like in the light of the lamp.
And here we go to the pod basement. What do we get here? The last key.
The last small key.
Just a heart.
I mean, it's nice. They don't have a full row of hearts yet. Actually, I think he might now. But
9.
Yeah, it might be 9. Yeah, I think it's 9.
And there's the map.
Where are you? Yeah, okay. I was like, no, don't go through the south door. That's.
I was about to say you could just go back the way you came.
Yeah, I was like, that's not where you want to go.
Probably just a little
Don't,
bit of nerves. Although
yeah.
he's probably now intentionally taking damage because I would take a death warp out of here if I wanted to continue on in this area.
But the game could be really nice and give a nice heart refill right here.
Of course. It's always just trying to help you out, buddy. We're seeing
Ooh,
Keg
desert
go into
check.
desert.
There's a different play.
And Pod is barren. That is
Pod did not pay off.
Ruthless.
Look, it's not pendant pod. That's why there's nothing there. It only has 500,000 items when it's a pendant.
Yeah, the team that we have here, it's always pendant pod, or it's, it's not wrong.
I mean, it is an ongoing joke in the community. It's not a serious thing, but it just always feels like because pod has so many items, it just generally has something, and because you avoid it so often when it's a pendant, you just kind of keep getting caught with there being something in there that you didn't check.
It's always classic to have like the second glove in a pendant pod. Meanwhile, Desert is not paying out so far. I think, he has 2 out of the 3 dungeon items, and there's the big key, so we only have the big key chest and fighting Landmolus left, so it looks like he'll probably have to make a decision if he wants to commit to defeating Landmo at this point. Given that you're running out of things to do, maybe I would do it.
And if there's still an item left, definitely do it. Sorry, did you say 3? There's 2 items in desert.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just saw the map there, so now we're down to 2 items left, which will have both items, because we haven't picked up anything yet.
Yeah.
And with the $50.
But yeah, so I think at this point, like, yeah, you're running so low. If you were going to make the desert play, maybe just do it.
Especially because without the mirror, you can't just flute to the back and open it. So yeah, that would make sense if he's gonna finish the play out and see what we have on the boss. Now, if there's something here, this is savage.
I'm still liking an Ice Palace dip. Like, I know you want to do it with Samaria. I know it's easier and faster with Samaria, but there's a good number of items in there. And it's a completable dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, it does follow the ethos of ABCD. But yeah, both runners are definitely putting it off because they want that Samaria, but it appears that you're probably just going to have to do it the classic Ice Palace bomb jump method. Dust off that old tech. It's not obsolete. Sometimes you're just forced to do it.
No, it's definitely an important thing for a lot of runners to do every once in a while because it does come up. And sometimes just putting it off this long is what causes issues.
So let's see what Pytlovan's up to. I guess E2's making the desert play.
Another desert play. Well, no one's going to gain or lose time on this. Yeah, neither runner wants to do ice.
I don't blame them, but at some point you just got to put on your big kid pants and get it done.
Well, just remember that they don't have hammers, so they can't finish it.
True. Oh, that's
right. So it's not just the Samaria. It's they can't finish it either. And depending on the key layout, actually, because I think I said they could finish it earlier. That was I was wrong on that. But the thing too is that if depending on the key layout, that could be really awkward without the hammer.
Oh yeah. I'm always so used to coming in there with the stupid hammer, but we're gonna run out of things to do very soon if we don't have a hammer.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm thinking the seed's done something ridiculous like hammer and ice.
This is just turning gnarly in a hurry. Yeah, now you gotta after it looks like Keg's gonna go into Skull now for, as we already know, nothing. Now you gotta start thinking about I have the gold glove. So I could theoretically at least start the smith chain. Minus, hammer pegs, but you gotta start wondering about some of your overworld checks in stinky locations. Um,
Is this a...
does-
Oh, it's a
does not have-
catfish play.
Okay.
It's a catfish play.
I mean, sure. We know that it's just $20, but
That
this
is
is
a
the state of
long
the...
walk. Has
Yeah.
he done everything else? Like, is that just where we are now?
I'm trying to remember if he went into Skull, if he had defeated Skull.
He probably did. Because he would have
Well,
done it right there before doing
yeah.
this. There's no way he did this, walk right past Skull Woods after with it being there. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. I just have to think it's got to be something on Smith Chain now, since we are running thin on checks that are at least in logic, and you don't necessarily want to go too far out of logic now, because if you have so few logical checks, odds are if you go out of logic, you're not going to find anything helpful.
I mean, going out of logic here, there's not really much more they can do out of logic.
Yeah.
Like, they're stuck. Like, you're at this point, I think, as far as we know, the only locations we haven't seen are the Smith Chain and Ice Palace.
Yeah, I mean, my next play would probably be I would probably do Smith stuff over going into Ice Palace.
And yeah, we're gonna see Pod here. It's what I figured the check was. Come across the north because you want to get Catfish in, and at this point, there's no good way to get to Pod without Hammer. Right? You either have to go all the way around the south or all the way around the north of the world. So if you're gonna do one, you may as well route in Catfish with it.
Yeah, and poor Keg heading off to Pod. I don't blame him. You know, lots of items potentially here, but
Oh, huge density.
this is just gonna be one nasty, mean old seed. We're gonna have two grumpy runners at the end of this, no matter who wins it. Because this seed is getting to mid-game troll pretty hard here.
Now, but so remember that the Soggy team has not done Meyer yet.
That's true. So let's see. I believe. Oh, he's booking it.
Oh, we haven't seen King's Tomb on this side.
Yeah, he hasn't done King's Tomb yet. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like, are you gonna do Meyer? Or are you gonna do Smith's Chain without Hammer, or without Mirror? Or are you gonna go into Ice without Hammer or Samaria? Like this.
This is
Those
getting
options suck.
You're getting into a real Sophie's choice here of just terrible,
We're
no
doing Meyer. That's Meyer. That was a setup for Spooky.
Oh boy. So while our runners are covering their tracks and are going to find absolutely nothing of real note, you can give them a follow. We have, you can go follow Keg and go follow Pytlovan. They're quite capable runners. This is just one nasty open seed. I apologize for cursing it at the very top. But yeah, definitely give them a follow. They're great players, and I'm familiar with both of them in the community as well, and they're good people in the community too.
Yeah, like, so the other thing to our viewers who are around, what do you think we're gonna find? What's our item? Is it the hammer that we keep discussing? Or are we just gonna find like Samaria that's gonna put us right back into Meyer? Are we gonna find? Those are really our only. Oh, Mirror. Or are we gonna find Mirror that's gonna let us into Swamp? Those are basically our progression.
To the Hera, up to Hera. We have no way to get to Hera.
Oh, Mirror, yeah.
We are definitely very progression starved, as Pytlovan picks up his Coward Shield, or the Riot Shield, or correctly named the Mirror Shield.
Yeah, wow, this is... Basically, the hammer and the mirror both give us a whole bunch of things we can kind of go and do, but... Samaria would just be so annoying to these runners at this point. If they go, like, into Ice and they find nothing but Samaria, to, like, go back to Meyer to go to Vidi to get, like, Hammer, Mirror.
Yeah. That would be
Okay.
truly cursed. And Keg setting up a death warp here. The spike is the faster way to set up a death warp versus what Pytlovan did with the jellies.
Hmm.
The spike will always deal 1 heart of fixed damage to you no matter what armor you have. Meanwhile, in the chat, we have Pytlovan's teammate explaining their team name, which is pretty cool. It's a pun on Soggy T, small optimizations, great time loss. That's actually pretty hilarious. And now, yeah, it's just our runners are just going to keep covering each other's tracks, probably for the next 3 to 4 minutes.
That's why I tried to get that conversation about that go mode item, because, like, what are we...
Yeah, I mean, we're really starved right now, and until one of the runners makes the play to go do to either do the Smith chain or over to ice, I think we're out of things to do.
Like, yeah, it's one of these... Like, really, the thing that the runners don't want to see right now is Samaria. Well,
Yeah,
actually, Pytlovan would love that right at this moment, because that would be great, but it's not in here. And once he leaves, neither of these runners wants to find Samaria, because the only thing that opens for them is Vidi. And they'll have to go all the way through Meyer again.
Yeah, and then that would mean something's on Vidi and you'd have to come back here to do it.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see right now. That's the absolute, out of the 3 progression items, that's the one they do not want.
Yeah, so both of them are about finished with their respective dungeons, and now we're gonna see who's gonna go where next. Where you going, Keg? Give us something.
I think this is it. Like, we're in those few checks now. We're going to ice.
Yeah, I mean that's there's no wrong answer here at this point. You just have you have to just go right or left, and then
yeah, you just make a decision.
It's
like,
just
you've
out of
got
your hands from there. You can't even be mad.
You got 2 checks with the blacksmiths. You've got, what was the other thing we said we hadn't checked still? Apart from ice, there was one other thing with 2 checks. I thought.
You know, if I had called up my tracker, let me look at my own tracker here, just with a full set of greens here.
But ice, blacksmith. I thought there were 3 things we said we hadn't seen yet, but maybe not.
I think that's kind of really about it. I mean, here I'm gonna.
Oh. Hold on. They're going different directions.
Oh baby, here we go.
Nope, not yet.
Well, still on Keg's side, we're gonna see what Pengator Room's got for us. The key, so that's cool.
That's helpful, actually. That's really helpful to get that early key.
Oh, okay. So Pytlovan is forgetting what was on the lumberjack check.
I don't know if he checked it. I think only one of our runners checked it.
Oh, I was very blurred. I couldn't see it.
Oh, it's a rupee, I think.
Oh, it was a rupee. Okay. I would have thought, like, because I've seen Keg play enough.
Oh no, Keg!
If it was an item, doesn't feel great to waste bombs on that.
No, I've done that myself a lot. It's the only reason I know how that one feels. It sucks.
Yeah, but oh, and he missed
the quick kill too.
I think the yips are starting to get to our runners here because of how troll this seed is. You know, once the seed gets to be this troll, it can really mess with your mind, and your execution just kind of goes down the drain.
Okay, so now I can say this: we are getting both checks simultaneously here.
Yup. So far, nothing in the front of ice, but that was to be expected. Only 1 check. And now we're gonna.
What? Okay.
Uh-oh. Experiencing some technical difficulty setting up the bomb jump.
Yeah, but what else is new? This This is not a particularly friendly bomb jump, and if you don't do it a lot, it's definitely.
Oh, no, he
No!
had it and then fell off.
That feels bad. I think
No, yeah, he's
most
ready.
runners that I've talked to do that the first time they ever do it because they're so shocked that they actually got it. They just walk into the pit.
Yeah. And $20 on the Smiths, so that's not helpful. Yeah, you just gotta go pick up the purple chest now. And we see Keg fix things up, and he's through with the bomb jump. This is my friendly reminder to y'all to get back into that practice hack and give that a few swings so you can make sure that you get it first try.
Yeah, like now we get the right side check, which is nice.
Yeah. Huh. Nothing there. So now he's 2 more chests that he has access to. I don't think he got the big key yet. So you have iced tea and you have, the freeze-or room here. Now we're gonna see
And
Pytlovan.
purple chest is in hand.
All right. Oh, just a heart there, huh?
Gotta go the slow way to iced tea.
Yeah, without the key, you're forced to do that. All right, so this is kind of huge. We're gonna see if it's here. A hammer.
It's hammer.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh boy. This seed just got broken wide open now. That means, yeah, you can go finish pod if you want. But yeah, pod's a crystal. That's an empty crystal though, so meh. That means, unfortunately for Keg, he's gonna have to double dive this dungeon. Whereas we're gonna now see Pytlovan just be able to just get through this dungeon normally and clear it. That's a huge advantage for Pytlovan at this particular moment.
Yeah, this dungeon is not particularly fast. Even if you have Cane of Samaria to do it the fastest way, it's not great.
It's still slow.
You definitely don't want to do this twice if you don't have to. Yeah, it gets the bad news. Realizes this is not it.
Yeah, that he picked the wrong answer, unfortunately.
I mean, he had a 50-50. He got pretty much everything out of there except the two chests on the right side.
I mean, he can pretty much zoom his way through. I think he got 2 out of 3 items. But there's still 1 left, and oh boy,
that makes it worse because like, do you have 2? I guess you could just go that way quickly, but you gotta check those the key lock side.
Yeah. You don't want to leave anything behind when you're this progression started, even if the hammer does open up a lot. The time loss is pretty insignificant, so you should just do it.
Yeah, we still need 4 items.
There's a lot out there. Although now having access to Hera helps.
Oh yeah, you gotta go to do Hera the slow way. That's the way the seed's turning out.
So you must do Hera. And I believe that's the green crystal, so you're kind of incentivized to actually finish that because there's an extra item waiting for you.
Yeah, but I mean, once you get to the big chest and everything else there, it's really not that far to get to Moldorm.
Yeah.
And it's not a hard fight or a long one.
No.
Unless you get one of those days where you just fall off the pit 7 times.
Yeah. When Trolldorm decides to have his way with you, he has his way with you. And, now it looks like Keg's gonna get his hammer in a second and realize you gotta start sweating at this point because he has to know that both runners have essentially hundo cleared the game. If it's that far down.
Well, here's the big thing too. Keg. Oh no, wait. They both did the Meyer checks now, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They both failed out. So now we're gonna see there's 2 checks that he couldn't get to, and it was just $20. And then we'll see the other
Yeah.
item here.
Well, with this being with ice basically being cleared, yeah, we didn't find anything else here.
Yeah, I think that
In
was 3. So the boss is gonna have, I believe, a dungeon item, and then that'll be
so
the end of it.
assuming that it is a dungeon item or even just any non-important item, you have to go up the mountain now, right? Because there's nothing else left.
Yeah, chat saying 5 items, 2 in the dungeon, pendant, and an ether tablet. Because oh yeah, both tablets are now in play. You have just the one
Oh
tablet.
yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I'm sorry, no mirror yet.
but
Point, you
even
wish
just
you
think
had a
about
mirror.
it. Where else are you gonna go with that hammer? Like, what else does it unlock? You can finish pod. That's
Yeah,
it.
I think was there an item on the boss? I mean, you could, because that's what it
Oh,
looks like
actually,
Keg's doing,
hammer pegs.
and hammer pegs too, of course.
Hammer
Yeah.
pegs exist.
Uh-oh.
Can you
That's
imagine
something
if
that
that
looks.
is our next progression? You do
Oh
all of
man,
this
if that.
else just to need to do hammer pegs, and you know hammer pegs is going to be the last check.
Yeah, because in everyone's minds, because you've done purple chest, you've mentally already checked off hammer pegs, and that would feel lousy.
Well, there's also nothing else there. Like, that is all that's there left in that
Right.
whole part of the world. You don't really want to go there for one item. That's a long trip.
Yeah. So I guess Keg's gonna let us know what's gonna be on the Helmasaur King. And he'll have that dungeon cleared. And then... oh boy.
I'm also good with this play. It's a completable crystal. Just kind of get it out of the way, be done with it.
Yeah, it allows you to have some breathing room to think. Because then you can kind of calculate for a couple of minutes and think like, gee, what do I gotta... where can I go next? And he'll probably either say, I better finish ice, or I better go up to the mountain.
As much as it sucks, I think you finish ice before you go up to the mountain, considering it's a crystal.
Yeah, because then you don't have to ever go back to that part of the world again. Chad also pointing out powder is open too. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean that's right next. That's right next to hammer pegs. If you had mirror.
Well, I mean, you could flute to 3, do magic bat, and then do hammer pegs from taking the portal.
Yeah, that's definitely the
Working
way to
out.
do it if you're going to do it. But it's just
So,
so much nicer when you actually have mirror.
yeah, low hearts, no fire rod, but he gets it done for Pytlovan. And there was an item on the boss, but it was only 10 arrows, so thanks for nothing.
I'm not there. Yeah, so Pytlovan's got to go up the mountain. Like that's the play here, I think.
It's either that or, follow Keg and, take care of business here.
That too, actually. Well, I mean, that might actually be better first. Do the pod play, get the crystal, and then see where you go from there.
Right. Now we're starting to unclog the jam a little bit, but you now see Pytlovan just gonna zoom their way across Death Mountain and, get there up to the Hera area. That simply has to be something.
Yeah. Until it's on hammer pegs.
Of course. Now that I've said that it simply has to be something, it's not gonna be anything. I'm just like slinging these commentator curses like all willy-nilly here.
This is one heck of a seed, though.
Yeah, this has been mega troll. This is probably going to be close to 2 hours by the time we're all said and done. 3 bombs on a freaking Helmasaur King.
So that
Oof.
item, not helpful.
Yep. You either clean up those 2 checks that just got opened up back in the CAC area, or you're going up to Hera. Let's see. Here's the front. Oh, just a compass.
Well, hold on. He can still do ice.
True. Yeah, you can finish that off.
with how he's been going, that might be the play here. He's been really trying to get those crystal dungeons out of the way. So I think that might be the play
Yeah.
here.
We
It
just
is.
saw the super speed version of the Harapot. There's been a newer tech discovered by Philisty, which is the Philly pot method. That's the one I've learned because I'm kind of newer to the game. And I learned Harapot. As we see our first item in Hera being just a heart, 2 pieces of hearts in Hera. So, doggone it.
Well, nothing in the basement at least.
Nope. So this is very Harapotable, and you won't be punished for that. Now that you've gotten your 2 items, you beat the boss to get the green pendant, and then you're running out of things to do. You either I missed if he checked the pedestal or not. I mean the the tablet or not. But then it's either that or you turn it in and do Spike as he's trolled off once.
Hold on.
And our tracker saying that has not checked Ether yet, so hopefully he remembers to do that after he's done. Because once you do Spike, it's a little bit of a pain to get back.
Little bit.
Nice kill on the revenge.
They don't have mirror. That's a really bad one.
Yeah. So he's got 3 things left to do. At least up here, and then of course there's still cleaning up magic bats and hammer pegs.
And in his case, pod as well. But we know it's nothing.
Nope. Just another $20. Keg returning to his demons here.
Oh my, it's on hammer pegs, isn't it?
It just might. He's wisely doing Spike first because you can just save and quit out of here. Ooh.
Oh, I thought Keg was going back into the pit.
Keg.
Well done though to save that position.
As long as you get it done,
Yep. For sure.
Now we're gonna see what's on Spike. Just another part. Huh. So green pendant, and then you got your 2 cleanup spots.
So the game basically wanted you to go get the hammer from purple chest and then go back to where you found the purple chest and use the hammer.
That's pretty psychotic.
Well, actually, keep in mind that logically, you were supposed to do that in the first place anyway, because you were supposed to use that hammer to go beat Thieves Town.
Oof.
So logically, you were supposed to be in the area. Now, none of our runners are ever going to do that, but that's beside the point.
Just a full heart on the green pendant turn-in. It must. Has to be. Unless I've just completely blanked on a place. No, it has to be. As we see Pytlovan just going to clean up Pod here and get his 3 bombs off the Helmasaur King.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense, though. It's a Crystal Dungeon. It's got an item. You're going to have to do it.
Yep. Yeah, this is just his few minutes to think about what to do next. Hopefully he remembers that hammer pegs and the powder are things. So this would be an interesting thing. I wonder, because if Keg feels like horribly behind, which he might psychologically feel like that way, based on that hammer find, he might gamble and go straight to the powder and hammer pegs, and then, he can join Pytlovan there at the same time, basically.
Yeah, that would be... That would definitely bring this neck and neck. This is...
Oh boy,
I mean, I think that's only the play if you think you're, like, really behind. Because that's going to lose, what? There's 2 items there versus, like, 5 or 6 items on the mountain. That's going to lose, like, 75% of the time.
Yeah, it's just when you're running out of things to do, it's either it's starting to metagame, right? You know, you either think, well, if I do the 5 items, then I'm just following the leader, and that's not going to help me. Whereas if I somehow make the shortcut over to the 2, and that's the correct answer, then I might be back in the game.
Yep.
It's really you're both runners are really both grasping at straws here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so little left. Oh my!
He's doing
Keg's
it.
doing it.
I love it. And he's being called a creeper for doing it too.
Keg's doing it. If you are cheering for the Tipsy Tavern Toasters today, you're
This
gonna be
could
happy
save
about
the
this
day.
one.
This could really get him right back into it if he finds something here. Let's see.
This could put Keg in the. Oh no, he still has to do Ice Palace. This could put him tied.
Just a piece of heart. Oh.
But this has been right back in.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, he did
if
do Ice
Keg
Palace, by the way.
completely skips the mountain, this
Yeah.
could be huge.
That would basically, as Pytlovan takes out Helmastar King, you know, that would put them neck and neck, because I would have to assume that he has to do those 2 items. I'm not sure.
We're getting a
Check the
pet
pad
check.
first. Okay. Sure.
I like this decision. There's like you're still looking for 4 items.
Right. It could just be on the pad. I mean,
Like
I was
when you have
trying to avoid it.
like you got 4 items left. There's only what like 8 locations or 6 locations available to him right now.
Just 3
Dude,
bombs.
bombs. It's Ped is dead. Sorry,
Sorry,
Chad.
We're both saying that. So now they're both going to be booking it. Now they're neck and neck. Yeah, because I would have to assume that he's going to go get the. Yes, he is. He is doing that. Good. 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 Good.
Unfortunately, going to go check that could put Keg a little bit farther behind unless it's checked by the other team as well.
Well, he's gonna get to the purple chest first, so he'll have that minor lead as long as he avoids going up to the mountain.
But he still has to do ice.
No, he did ice.
Oh, he did ice. Sorry, it wasn't on the tracker on my screen. Might have been a little bit delayed in updating.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting annoyed by the skeletal chicken.
Okay, so then no, yeah, sorry. So then, because I thought, okay, we're good then. So yeah, no, this
Oh, baby,
this
there
put
it is.
this puts Keg in the lead.
That gives you access to I still would have actually. Oh man, this is interesting because I still would have done purple chest if you were right there with it.
Wait, he did purple already though.
Oh, he did do purple. Okay, I missed that.
That had hammer.
Oh, jeez. See, the seed's just been so twisting and turning.
Of course he's done it. He would be pretty stuck without that hammer. Yeah. How did he do hammer pegs without the hammer?
That's right. Oh wow. Oh, he's getting bullied by that annoying, the pterodactyl there. I don't know all the Zelda names for a lot of the creatures. I personally don't have a long history with Zelda. I mainly got into Rando off of seeing like the tournament in 2018 and just like watching for like a good solid year and a half until COVID hit and I made this my COVID hobby.
Chat asking about couldn't either and both rods be a Pyramid Fairy? Yes. That is now possible.
And we already have both items in I mean, I know we have to go just straight to Vidi, but I don't think there's an item on Vidi. So we're running out of things to do. You can do the first chest of Turtle Rock just with the cane. So I wonder if the fire rod is just going to be chilling in that room right there.
Yeah, it's like what are we really looking for here? Like mirror, right? Like mirror would be huge.
Yeah, because we must do swamp.
Then
So
we go in a swamp. Like that's, and you know what? I think if for Keg, mirror is good here because it'll put him into swamp and then it'll go up the mountain all at once, probably with both rods.
yeah, I mean, preferably he wants to. I think he's been hard avoiding the mountain. You know, he correctly gambled. I mean, that was a very big calculated risk, and it was something that I kind of speculated on, probably feeling behind.
Yep. No, it worked out. But the problem here is that, like, if he finds, say, fire rod here, you're now stuck in that situation of, well, I've got to go up the mountain anyway.
Right. Seeing him do the dash strats, that is definitely very viable when you have a tempered sword. And blasting away with the arrows, and that'll do it for Pity.
So here it is. What's in here?
Just a heart.
No. Wait.
So we miscounted, unfortunately, but it didn't end up mattering.
No. The items in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I was
The
just
items
surprised
on
to see the
the
heart
first.
on
It's.
video was all.
Wait, does that mean there's a. Does that mean there's a fire rod on the left side of Turtle Rock?
Unfortunately, there's probably something in the first chest of PR. If not,
Yeah,
then
but I mean, like, that could be fire rod to get to the fire rod side on the right side to go into the back.
yeah. Kono Tyrant in chat. Just do rodless TR. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it could definitely be deeper. We could definitely need. I mean, actually, with this seed, so Fire Rod is going to be like way at the back of Turtle Rock, and Ice Rod's going to be in those Fire Rod lock chests at the front.
Yeah. It just depends on the key pickup. If you get like a key in the first chest on that front and then west side,
and just keep pushing the keys all the way back until we get to the end and find Fire Rod to go back to the front to get Ice Rod.
I mean, talk about a twisted pretzel of a, item
I mean,
logic.
it fits everything else we've got.
Yeah. Oh no, he's going over to. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's going over to do the.
It's the right play.
It's the right play, but oh man, if you've gone YOLO once, you might as well double down and YOLO again.
Yeah, but he made the great play. He's going to do the climb once. It saves him a lot of time. He's up there, like... The thing is, if, like, Fire Rod or Ice Rod's in here, you're a guaranteed loss if you don't do it.
Yeah. So now we're going to see Pytlovan be the first into TR and the first to get the new checks.
This could be close. This dungeon does not take all that long.
No, he'll get the big key there, and we'll see what he does from here. He's okay. Also doing the spin speed version of Harapot.
Yeah, it's
Gets it done nicely.
he's going to get both items here. And here's the... Ooh, does he defeat Moldorm?
He probably will want to because it's the green pendant.
Yeah, I think so too.
With
but
both items, you wanna, he's got his two. What's he doing? He's making his decision. Yeah, he's gonna go fight. Fire rod in the first chest, just like I said. So
that's what I was saying.
Now you just keep going.
That's what I like instantly. That was my first thought. I'm like, is Fire Rod in the first chest of Turtle Rock? That's what it feels like it should be. I mean, the seed could have been mean with putting the Fire Rod right at the back, but
no. Is it going to be a classic Ice Rod on Laser Bridge? Let's see.
No. Ice Rod's in Swamp on left side.
Oof. I mean, we're just trying to like be courteous, you know, because we do have one more match scheduled on our channel here. We do have, I believe it's going to be, well, it's one of my teammates, the Super Randos Brothers versus Norsk Maddie of the Rando Babies. That is on tap.
I mean, this particular restream started a few minutes late, so because of the
Yeah,
overrun
I mean,
of the last seed. Like, the seeds have not been nice today.
no, they've been pretty troll. And all right, we got a small key here to keep going. And we're gonna see Keg right hot on his heels to get that fire rod. And then maybe we'll see what execution differences might come into play if he can make up some time. Because that's what we're looking at here as the seed is kind of bottlenecked us here. And we'll see what happens next. So let's see. It's good. We're doing full clear. We have to.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's the big key. You
we
must.
definitely had to, but what? Remember, our runners are still missing 2 items at this point.
Yeah. You can't leave no item behind.
And not with how few items are left. Like, think about it. What is left now? So we got Fire Rod. We can check. Mothula, but there's no item there. Keg knows that Pet's dead.
So no point in Mothula.
But Pytlovan does not know that Pet is dead.
Right, yeah.
That depending on where this ice rod is, if it's not in Turtle Rock, that could make a difference. That could give Keg back the lead.
Yeah, I mean,
the time to go check that, because that's basically where the time difference is right now. The fact that Keg checked it.
Right. Yeah, because Keg gave back the mountain time.
Yep.
Yeah, this this seed is just getting very filthy. Just $20 there, so we are going to be forced to do laser bridge.
I mean, we were forced to do it anyway at this point.
Yeah, I was just thinking if there was a second key, you know, technically it wouldn't have been required, but it would have been madness not to.
Oh yeah, what you? Well, I mean, we don't have ice rod, so we can't do anything else anyway.
Yeah, we are out of things to do.
So it's laser bridge or well, laser bridge has to have something at this point. It's mirror or ice rod.
It's probably gonna be mirror. I just have a nasty feeling it's gonna be mirror. Just to let us.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. That's what it feels like. But
we're gonna see Pytlovan. I think he's setting up the safety door.
no, I think it was just.
Oh, there's the ice.
There's the ice rod. Well, that is unfortunate for Keg.
And there's the mirror.
And there's mirror. Mode. Yep. Well, I mean, you knew mirror had to be in here somewhere because we had nothing else to check.
Yeah. So let's see.
133.
Yeah, 133. Pretty much on the nose. And then we'll be able to calculate how far behind Keg is, and then see if he can make up some time just on execution alone, because you gotta finish PR here. Then you gotta go. Or no, this is it, isn't it? I'm trying to see if there's any.
They both need to do swamp. Oh wait, did Pytlovan finish Meyer?
I would have thought they did.
I thought they did too, because I know he did pod, but I'm not. I know for sure he did pod.
A nice kill by Pytlovan to finish off TR.
Oh, if Pytlovan has not been back to Meyer, then this could be
Interesting.
absolutely neck and neck.
Yeah, that gives you back all the time Keg needs, because Keg is doing some crafty stuff here.
We're gonna
Uh,
find out. Yeah, I know Pytlovan did Pod. Okay, so he did do Meyer according to chat.
okay,
So
excellent. Yeah, that would have been very unfortunate if he had not. So yeah, you just gotta go mode swamp and finish this darn thing up. So how many chests do you think Pet Lovin will check on the way? Is he just gonna go full head down and zip it straight to the boss?
you just go to the boss, I think.
Because, if you can, silvers might be really rad if they're just chilling right there.
I mean, maybe in the diver down chest. I'm not sure I would stop for anything else.
Yeah. All right, now here comes the tragedy for Keg. So they're about 2 minutes and, well, probably about 25 minutes, 2 minutes and 25 seconds behind at the moment.
Okay, do not die here. Do not die here, please.
Yeah, there he is at 2 minutes and 27 seconds behind. So that's the time he's got to make up. That is certainly within GT routing, though.
It definitely is, but that is not a small amount of time. Unfortunately.
It may be close. It just depends on the execution, as we do see Pytlovan immediately skip the first chest there, and we'll see if he goes to the diver down chest or not. Um,
That first chest is definitely too far out of the way. By the time you wait for the bomb and have to sit around not doing anything, it doesn't make a
right,
lot
yeah.
of sense. Nice first head.
That was very well done.
Oop,
Take
takes
the
a hit,
chomp.
but that's okay.
That's okay.
Back over to
And let's
Pytlovan.
see it.
What is he doing? Grab the key, go straight to the back. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta.
Oh, one heart, and Keg survives.
Ooh, that was close. Egg's really been playing on a knife's edge for a lot of this seed. Um,
But here's the question: do you check these? These are barely out of the way. I
yeah.
don't know.
And here we have
It's always a
diver
question in
down,
my head. Yeah, but
and
yeah,
you'll
it makes
heal up
sense.
2 trashes. You could get the chest in the next room. That's not a big deal. Yeah. Of course,
Huh.
thanks a lot for the big key. That gets an official thanks. I hate it from me. And Keg
So
is now
Keg
hot
going
on
to
the.
be. Yep. Just gonna say Keg is gonna be going into the same dungeon in a moment.
Yeah, it's still probably it still hasn't really made up much time. So, and this is a boss fight. When you have this sword, you can reasonably two-cycle it. Um, no problem, even if you're just grabbing one at a time like this. And there it is.
Well, I mean, with tempered, it's faster to go one at a time, but you can use the dash poke strat that can really speed it up.
Yeah.
But that's very tricky if you're not used to it. It's very easy to just take damage and not do any damage whatsoever.
And now we just have Pytlovan gonna just make a break for the end of the game. Um, he has at least one blue, so if he's gonna be doing any cape strategies against Ganon, he has his refill. It looks like he might be buying a few more to just stock up. Or no, he's just gonna go straight. Go straight to the end of the game.
No, this makes a lot of sense. So 22 items in GT.
It's that time.
Chat. What number is it?
I'm dropping a cursed 13. Because this seed is...
You say 13. I always say 8.
Yeah.
Personally. It's just
The seed is
the number
cursed.
I've always picked. But chat, let us know. We got a few numbers. We got 19, 12, 8, and 13.
But of course, I mean, will the game just give you one last troll and put the big key in tile room? I mean, it's the theme of the seed.
Here come the rest of the numbers. 9, 16. We're getting some in here. Anybody else? All the people lurking?
We have
22, too.
We have Joss.
Okay, we're getting a good set of numbers here. Oh, we got a prediction.
There we go.
We got a mod in town. Use your channel points. Will it be an even or an odd number?
Well, since I picked 13, I better drop like 500 points on odd over here. There we go. Bam. And time's almost up to get your points in. Otherwise, it's going to be about time to get started on the count.
Yeah.
And we do go by what the runner does, depending on their strat, as he's going to go full left.
Well, could just be Stalfos into right. Very common strat as well.
I'm particularly a fan. We missed one right there on the torch. I'm a fan of checking Hope Room for a small key and then going left for the 4 as the hybrid strat. Sure, you lose a minute if it's not there, but you know, you save 5 if it's there. 2 and 3 are nothing. 4 and 5, still nothing.
Yep, we're doing this one. I mean, the nice thing about this is that you do have the guaranteed key. You get to go this way, and it doesn't lose too much time overall. It also means any time that you would have wasted trying to defeat the Stalfos goes out the window as well.
Right.
So that's 7 checks so far. My 8 would be the next chest.
We'll see. His first chest of the big 4 here.
And I know one of our viewers also picked 8, so that's 2 of us. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh,
We just
that was
avoided the
close.
hand.
That was close. Gibdo, little in the way.
Yeah, these Gibdos can really, as he's getting bullied by them.
Yeah, this is where you do the kick. Yep.
There you go. Alright, let's see. 8. Nope.
8. Nope. It's a key! Wrong key.
9, 10. And 11. Winner.
Odd wins the prediction. And no one picked 11. Fortunately, that means I lose a bunch of channel points.
Yeah, well, I did do odd, so I think I cash in, baby. So now he's just got to book it up the mountain. I mean, I'm sorry, not the mountain. I'm sorry, just the gauntlet. So
I mean, gauntlet's up at the top of the mountain.
Very true. I just don't know what it is. I just kind of like sub in random words like that, and then it happens. But yeah, now he's just gotta do the climb, and that's it. He's definitely still has a couple minutes of time. Nothing really gained by Keg on execution here.
No.
There's definitely some runners that, you know, once they're in a go mode, they just somehow like turn on the afterburners, and then it's shocking how much time they can make up on execution versus their opponent.
We're going to see. The other thing is if we get a full right, that would be great, but we're getting left start as well. I'm going to assume this is going to also be Stalfos into right. I don't know too many runners that tend to do full left, but we've had a whole bunch of people do it recently. I've seen a few races with it. So
Yeah, I'm generally, I do that hybrid right strategy. Kind of works out best for me in the aggregate, but unfortunately, unless he follows along, he's got to. Yep,
yep,
and he.
we're going right. Same route.
Pytlovan making short work of this gauntlet climb. Plenty of mana. Um, Finally getting out into the land mode too. And we don't have silver, so Fire Rod is going to be a quick way to get rid of some of those pesky worms.
Keg could be in a little bit of trouble here on the timing. Got
Ooh,
okay, he's
gets
okay.
through.
He's getting beat up a little bit there, so I wasn't sure. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, it will. Okay, nice. Got just far enough. Just had to wait a second.
Yeah, no real time changes have happened here for Keg to get in, although it looks like Pytlovan got a bit bullied, but he's getting through.
Yeah, that was not a pleasant room, but gets through it.
Yeah, just sometimes you just get lobbied by those soldiers, and there's not a whole lot to do. You just bonk into them, and then you take the damage.
Yeah, it's would love a good way to like consistently avoid them, but
Yeah, it's like usually like 1 in 20 for me that happens, and I just get bullied out.
checks one chest here, just in case the silvers are in that one.
Yeah, I was hoping to like probably get like a little refill, but
Eh, there's health and magic in this room.
yeah, or he's like just silvers hunting along the way up, which questionable to do when you're in a go mode situation and are
I mean,
hoping
that
that.
particular chest is like what a
Yeah.
2 second loss. If it's in there, you gain so much.
Oh yeah. Validation didn't have much, so we are going to see some silverless Ganon today. I wonder where our piggy will tell us that the item actually was.
In GT.
Or if it wasn't in Swamp, it could be on one of the many skip checks in Swamp.
Yeah, no, it's probably it's got to be in Swamp or in there. It like theoretically it could have just been on Bombo's tablet, but
Yeah.
I think odds are, considering we had what 11, there was still another 11 checks plus big key
Yeah.
or big chest plus a few of the ones on the climb. Like it's odds are it's in GT somewhere. Oh, checkerboard being reminded, and that would mean K45 as well. So there's a few mirror checks.
Spots. Nice Aga 2 from Pytlovan. Let's kill ourselves some piggies and get on out of here. Of course, with an interview. So not looking great for Keg at this moment, unless there is an unfortunate Ganon fall. But you got to keep playing to the whistle, and we'll
of
see what
course,
happens.
chat's reminding me of all of the other mirror lock locations. But yes, that's I mostly meant that odds are it's GT because it's probably got half the items left. But yes, there are plenty of mirror lock locations left.
So here's the fun question: what do you think the clear rates of our runners are going to be at this point? It's going to be pretty high.
Well, it's going to be less than 200.
Yeah, I'd say like maybe like 175, which is still kind of high.
Yeah, some red. I think it might be a little higher actually.
Ooh, that was a little swag from Keg to Bonk over there.
Ooh, Keg
Also looking for some
trying to
silvers too.
check these chests.
Meanwhile, on phase 3 is Pytlovan.
Here it is.
We're
In
in the
GT.
tower.
Yeah, I
Somewhere
mean,
else in the basement.
it makes sense. It had like 50% of the items remaining.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're gonna be doing our spinners.
We're gonna need 12 spins.
I think
10
he's
more.
done 3 so far.
Oh yeah, you got one early. Right, so that's
Oh, that's
4.
unfortunate. He tagged him. And the game's like, wait, no, you're supposed to do that.
Oh, that'll be a triple. No,
Oh.
that was right. That was a good setup for a triple. Unfortunately, once you get that, that was not.
Yeah. We have Keg going into Aga 2 now. And this is now the part where the nerves start to come in, because, you know, we're at an hour 50, and you're like, holy mackerel, this race is still going. Yeah, once I'm, like, at around an hour and 40, I start to get nervous in any of these races, because it's like, oh, and there it is,
That's
get your GGs in. Because you
That was
never
a nice
know
second
how close
last
the
hit.
opponent
That
is
was
about 150.
I like that second last hit. That was nice.
Was
I
gorgeous.
was a little worried there, but okay. So Pytlovan finishes with an official time of 1 hour 50 minutes and 29 seconds.
Just a pretty incredible way to, like, pull it together there. It could have gone either way at first.
I mean, that definitely went back and forth, and right at the end there, like the lead switched one way and then the other way, and
yeah, once we hit...
if
Oh, go on. Sorry, I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say that what happened with Keg ending up doing Tower of Hera, unfortunately, I think it was the right play, but it just brought the other team back in.
Yeah. It was just, I mean, yeah, you had 2 choices, and, you know, it just didn't work out in that one point, and what can you do, you know? This was
I think if Mirror had been earlier, and the swamp play was made before Tower, that could have made a difference. But
yeah,
where the items were, it just didn't work out.
And
the knowledge of Pet too.
We're joined by Pytlovan. GG's.
GG's.
Oh.
We just saw
Keg just fell.
Fall.
This was a terrible seed, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough middle there, you know, being starved out by the hammer.
The hammer was pretty bad, and the Somaria and the fire rod, everything was terrible in the seed.
Yeah, I mean, you had 4 items that were, you know, blocking you out, which is pretty unusual when you're more than an hour into a seed.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual. I was starting to freak out a little bit. Then when I had 2 pendants and I was looking for a hammer or something, I was hoping for the fire rod to appear to be fed.
Yeah,
it wasn't the case.
There was a lot of unfortunate, you know, this seed eventually funneled you into making 2 choices of going
ice
or to do the smith chain. And we picked ice, and we were really worried because that didn't pan out and you had to double dip it.
Yeah, he told me about that on the chat on the race time, but yeah, double ice pellet bomb jump because we didn't have Samaria. No?
Yeah, you two made a different choice in that one moment, and that made a big difference.
I believe so. But I was playing this seed after 1 hour of seed, I believe. I was thinking I was behind because he could have found the hammer. Maybe he could. Maybe after reaching the Dark World, just go into to bet on the Smiths and find the hammer, but that wasn't the case.
But see, the key in what you said was when reaching Dark World, he took a very long time to find Moon Pearl.
Moon Pearl was on Sahasra.
Saha's closet, but he did.
Yeah.
He
about that
basically
play.
last location that out of Sphere 1.
Ouch.
And talk to us about your open, because you started with the Houlihan. We don't normally see that, and as we get our GGs in for Keg,
Yeah, let's deal with this one quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, get your GGs in chat for Keg.
And we're joined by Keg. GGs. What a seed.
GGs, Keg. What a seed.
GG, wow.
I mean, what is there to say about this seed? This seed was incredibly
pretty treacherous.
We were just talking about the difference of the Ice Palace versus the Blacksmith's Chain.
Yeah.
Plays.
Yeah. So I was going to do Smiths after Thieves Town, but I'm like, no, I'll wait for Hammer and route that in together. And then I also changed my route. I was gonna do Pod, but then I'm like, I don't want to do Pod without a Hammer, so I went into Misery Mire since that obviously is not item density, but more item, like, you need a higher chain to go into it. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well, but I decided to go to, because I had Catfish and then Pyramid Lead, then Pyramid Ledge, then Pods. So I focused on density, and it didn't pay off as well, but it could very well have been.
Right.
I mean, it was just a seed where you both made gutsy plays because the seed gave you no good options.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, choices that you don't like making. You know.
Yeah, I was Pod, Mire, Ice. Everything was terrible in this seed.
Because you got to start off with quite a decent kit. I mean, you had the ability to have.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Right away.
I was thinking in my mind, maybe this is a jet seed. How can we do this? Then everything fell apart.
Yeah, I may have
right.
put
The
a commentator curse right on the top of this seed at the top because I said it was going to be a nice, easy open 7-7.
Yeah, man, that's what I thought as well.
But you know, the first 15 minutes it looked like that. It looked like you guys were just gonna finish this seed nice. Like Kakariko had so many good items, and then nothing. Keg, what? How about finding that Moon Pearl?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, man. I was thinking Aga, and then I'm like, no. But then I forgot to do Uncle before doing the rest of Escape, which was fun.
Ouch.
Yeah, we realized that one at one point when you were trying to death warp, I think, and I was going, why on earth would you've done the back Uncle.
Yeah.
And that had the lamp. It was just how nice of the uncle, you know, he didn't make it very far in his quest, but he had the lamp for you, and it was just sitting there all that time.
Yeah, I got the lamp with 40 minutes, I guess, after entering Dark World for like 20 minutes and doing Eastern Palace without the lamp as well. But yeah. So it was a rough seed.
Yeah, and I figured hopefully that the eastern area would have something since it was like 7 checks with the lamp and everything.
Exactly.
Instead of going to do Aga.
Yeah, my opening didn't pay off as much as I wanted to. The idea behind the opening with the Houlihan strat is to, since there are 7-8 titans on the route that I did, plus Saha's closet, I could have found the lamp, flutes or a bottle. Everything was in Kakariko, but anyway, it was a chance to only do one pass through Kakariko.
Fair. But yeah, I just want to say GG's to both of you. Thanks for being on the show tonight. Is there anything
Thanks
else
for
you
having me.
wanted to add before either one of you want to add before we get on out of here?
Burn this seed.
For me, thanks for the crew. Thanks for
Yeah.
the trackers, the commentators, and of course the restreamers putting on a good show here.
Yeah, give them all a follow. I just dropped all the links into chat. Can follow the racers, our crew, and our restreamer, and check out the league. We have the Discord, and you can see the schedule and website too, and to see other matches that are coming up.
Yeah, I wanted to thank everyone as well. Thanks Zetmo, thanks Josh for the comments. Thanks for the crew who tracked it. I don't know, but everyone must receive the I forgot the word.
It's all good.
As you can see, my English is not my main language, so yeah.
That's no problem. And it's just been a really rough seed. I would be just as tongue-tied too.
Yeah.
Having my
But
brain
follow
scrambled by
everyone.
this awful seed.
Yeah. But GG's anyways. Keg, it was
GG's.
a fun seed overall.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, well, we gotta shout out our background volunteers here, both our restreamer, Yonker's wife, and our tracker, Raids, who helped out a lot today, and the tracker. Our trackers have to look at way more than us as commentators. So thank you to both of you for helping us put this on. Thanks for being here with me, Josh.
Yeah, happy to do this, and we have another match over at twitch.tv, the ALTTPR League 2. We have my teammate Super Rando Bros going against Norsk Maddie of the Rando Babies. My team hoping to play a little bit of spoiler for our division's standings there at the top to see if anything can be disrupted for the playoff seedings.
Yeah, so if you liked what you saw, definitely make sure you follow this channel and the other ALTTPR League channel. And yeah, the other race is currently just under 8 minutes in. So if you want some more action, it's definitely ongoing.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe our crew, I don't know if we want to go and raid them, but if not, it's been a pleasure, Zentho. I hope you have a great night. GG's to our runners. Thanks for you two being here. And our tracker and crew, we can't thank you all enough. And I think that will do it, eh? I think we can head on out.